South Africa has refused to condemn the latest political crackdown in Zimbabwe. Instead, Foreign Affairs has called for cooperation and respect for political rights. This is in contrast to international criticism over the arrest of MDC leader Morgan Tsvangirai at the weekend. Today, he appeared in court with visible signs that he had been beaten up in custody.
His face horribly swollen, though steady on his feet. These are the first pictures of Morgan Tsvangirai since his arrest 2 days ago. From this court appearance, Tsvangirai and other pro-democracy supporters were taken to hospital and then back into police custody. The Office of United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said Sunday's arrests violate the basic democratic right of citizens to engage in peaceful assembly. The White House said, "We hold President Robert Mugabe and the government of Zimbabwe accountable for the safety and well-being of those in custody." And the European Union condemned the ongoing violent suppression of the freedom of opinion and of assembly, as well as other fundamental rights in Zimbabwe. Even though the situation is deteriorating in Zimbabwe, the South African presidency doesn't see the need for agency. It says it stands by what Foreign Affairs told us, that the Zimbabwean people must find their own political solution. It has also urged Mugabe's government to respect the rights of political opponents, but there is no condemnation.
We are absolutely shocked by the South African government statement that it issued today. The statement says that the government has taken note of these happenings. What a cold way of responding to a human suffering happening just next door to our country.
Tsvangirai has vowed to intensify his campaign once he's out of jail. Mugabe's ministers say they won't hesitate to crush any protest that breaks the law. Macintosh Nzimande, E-News, Pretoria.
Kwaito star Mendoza is in trouble with the law. He's been charged with common assault after allegedly slapping a man in Johannesburg.
One of the country's most popular musicians. Every appearance by Mendoza draws crowds of adoring fans. This brief appearance, though, he wouldn't have enjoyed. Up in court for common assault. The 30-year-old Mendoza, whose real name is Mduduzi Shabalala, allegedly assaulted a man outside an apartment in Randburg on Saturday. It's still unclear what sparked the fight. Neither Mendoza nor his agent were prepared to comment. Belinda Moses, E-News, Randburg.
A shock for some beer drinkers now. South African breweries is no longer producing Amstel lager. The license to produce Amstel is held by Heineken. But Heineken and SAB are battling for control of the international beer market. Heineken says it will take back control of brewing Amstel in this country.
Amstel lager has been slow brewed and extra matured for 40 years here by South African breweries. But almost overnight, SAB has found its contract has been canned. Heineken, which owns the brand internationally, has cancelled SAB's licensing agreement.
It was surprising that the way we found out is through a press release rather than direct communication. And we only received a letter this morning.
SAB Miller has already stopped brewing Amstel. Heineken says it will import the beer until it can brew it locally. The question is, in the meantime, will there be a shortage? It's a critical question, and if you're anything like me, you won't be taking any chances. You'll be popping down your local bottle store to stock up just in case. SAB Miller, as it's known overseas, has expanded aggressively, taking the fizz out of some of its competitors.
We've been remarkably successfully globally and in many countries, and some of that success has been at the direct expense of Heineken.
But this will hurt SAB, make no mistake. SAB retains the Miller, Pilsner Urquell and Peroni brands, but none of these come close to the popularity of Amstel. It may be last rounds for the SAB Amstel marriage, but the powerful company owns many well-known overseas brands. Don't expect it to stand back and not respond. Ben said, E! News, Johannesburg.